Hi everyone, Florentine here, and today I'm here with Cassidy. She's from Canada, and she joined the program a couple of weeks ago, and she recently just had her first out of body experience. So, hi Cassidy,
Hi, Florentine.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'd love to hear about your first out of body experience that you had using the step-by-step method that we teach. How was it? How was your
It
first
was,
experience?
yeah, it was really interesting. What happened was it wasn't anything too extravagant. I sort of just felt like I was being pulled out of my body. And once I got out, I kind of floated kind of into the corner of the ceiling of my room. And I looked down and I see myself under my blankets and I was like, wow, like there I am. And so then what I did was I was just kind of experimenting the first time. So I like stuck my hand through the wall, going in and out. I was like, whoa, my hand's going through the wall. And then what happened was I decided to try and stick half my body in the wall. And my vision was very glitchy. Like I didn't realize how bad my vision actually was, but my vision was really bad the first time. It just felt very holographic, kind of like glitchy, like things were sort of shaking. The more detailed I tried looking at something, the more glitchy it got. And what happened was I was kind of it's weird. I was kind of afraid to go through the wall, to be honest. Even though I know I could have gone through the wall, I didn't. And I think it was because I didn't realize how conditioned I was to, the third dimension, our crude matter, physical material bodies, that by going through the wall, I felt like I sort of had this double awareness because the more I went into the wall, I felt the vibrations, like my whole body was just vibrating, and I felt the awareness of my physical body vibrating, while at the same time I had the awareness of me looking through my astral body and looking through, and the fact that I was actually seeing what was inside the wall, which I was just like, whoa. I was like, holy crap, like this is not normal. And I guess you don't really realize how conditioned you are until you actually get out. And
Yeah.
so then what happened was, again, as I told you, I could have gone through the wall, but I didn't. So what I did was I basically came out of the wall. I just sort of was floating around my room a little bit more. It still was very dark because I practiced at like, must have been like 3:30 or 4 in the morning when this happened. So um everything still looked very third dimensional. The room was still very dark, so it still looked like I was just in my room. The only difference was that I knew I was on my bed, but I was seeing with my astral body, and my astral body was like in another part of the room. So it's like I could tell that my awareness shifted. And then what happened was, once I was just kind of floating around my room, I got kind of bored of it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to my physical senses. And then bam, my eyes wake up and I was like, oh, okay, that just happened. So it's like I never really fell asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you had
So
like no break in consciousness. You were going from the meditation into this out of body experience, and then with the intention of just returning, you were back into your physical body, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because again, my vision was very glitchy. My room was dark. It didn't like there wasn't really anything too interesting to see for the first time, because I guess I just sort of wanted to experiment and get used to, my energy body and actually being in my energy body. So yeah, there again, nothing too interesting happened, but the fact that I got out and I was actually floating in my room and stuff and like sticking my hand through the wall, that was pretty trippy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And you also, when you started the program, you never had vibrations, but then after a couple of weeks of practicing, you were able to get vibrations pretty quickly within
Yeah.
within 20 minutes on a
Yeah.
regular basis,
Hmm.
right? So how did that feel?
Um, I felt like the vibrations, like, like obviously at first, when I wasn't getting vibrations, because the vibrations is like the state where that's the moment when you're supposed to leave. And I felt like for the first half, while I didn't get vibrations, it just felt like, I don't know. I felt like maybe it was just my mind was subconsciously a little too controlling of the situation, that I didn't allow enough flow to come into it, and I think that's what sort of stopped me from getting vibrations. But then when I started getting vibrations within like 20 minutes or like less than that, I just felt like it came faster. The more I surrendered, the faster the vibrations came. But again, I still kind of felt like there was some subconscious like blocks that were kind of stopping me from getting out, because I would keep getting vibrations, but I wouldn't get out. And I felt like I was just stuck. Like if I tried yanking myself out, I was just like, like I felt like my body was paralyzed and I couldn't move, but I wanted to move, but I couldn't. And I feel like, again, I felt like the thing that really changed it for me was just, it's really about testing your consciousness, because even though astral projection, like your method is a step-by-step method, it's still a process of testing your consciousness and trying to figure out how your own consciousness works. And I found that even when I got vibrations, I still felt like subconsciously I was still trying to control something or like make something happen. And the only time I felt like that I actually got out was when I just completely surrendered and like didn't take the practice seriously. I was like, okay, I'm just going into the meditation. I'm just don't know what's going to happen, not setting an intention. I'm just going to do it and then just surrender. And I kept reminding myself, surrender, surrender, surrender. And then I was able to get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And
Yeah.
what are you hoping to achieve with your exploration?
I feel like for me, my vision was very glitchy the first time. Like it was very holographic. Things weren't super duper clear, but I would like to see better. I feel like clarity in my vision just needs to get a little bit better. And I also want to just sort of, I don't know, like explore other planets and like, I don't know, also maybe like meet some of like my ancestors, like my galactic ancestors, and just sort of meeting my soul family and just really starting to work more consciously with my guides, because I already work with my guides just normally with my normal clairs, with my clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, but I really want to take it to the next level and actually interact with them and actually travel with them, and like yeah, just I guess just have a more intimate relationship with my spirit guides, and also to explore the other realms and other dimensions and planets and other planes of existence.
Cool. And
Yeah.
what made you decide to join the program in the first place?
I really wanted to be more in control of my gifts. I felt like before I had all these different kinds of gifts. I was seeing things and I was feeling things and I was traveling to places, but I couldn't really control it. And I guess astral projection for me felt like it was my opportunity to actually be in control of my gifts and decide where I want to go, decide what beings I'm going to work with, what I'm going to do, and just be more conscious of my experiences.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel like the program has helped you achieving this so far?
I feel like it's helped me. It's very flexible, and I find the best thing about the program is that you have the step-by-step method, which is collectively which I feel collectively it's very beneficial, and I feel it gives everyone a sense of guidance of what to expect throughout the practice and what different states of achieving astral projection you're going through. And also with the coaching, because there was also personal coaching involved, I felt like that was really beneficial, because by having that personal one-on-one coaching with you, it sort of has helped me understand what specific blocks I'm having, and it was able to help me identify things like what I was doing wrong, or if I was being too controlling, and just helping me really understand those subconscious blocks that I have that was blocking me from succeeding. And I felt like, yeah, your program has definitely really helped me with that.
Yeah. And like, would you see yourself succeeding as easily if you had to read books or watch videos to learn this kind of things on YouTube?
Yeah, I feel like when you read books on astral projection, or when you watch videos on astral projection, you understand, like you're listening to it or you're reading it and you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But you only understand a certain layer of what those things are telling you. until you actually do it. And when you do it and you read back, you learn more things. And then you're like, oh, that's what that meant, or that's what I had to do, or that's what was missing. Like, you knew that that was there, but you don't fully realize the meaning of it until you're actually doing it. You know what I mean?
So what would you say the difference is between coaching and, reading it or watching videos on YouTube? And there's a lot
Um,
of people trying to learn this way, but how your
yeah,
experience with coaching, is that any different? Any benefits? How do you see it?
yeah. I feel like coaching just really adds the personalization, and I feel like you don't really know. Like, if you were to try and learn it on your own, watching YouTube videos or reading books, you don't know what you're doing right. You don't know what you're doing wrong. You're not sure if there's something that you're missing. Even if you're following all the steps, there might be some subconscious block, or there might be some thing that's blocking you from succeeding, and you don't know what it is. And by having a coach like you, where I could tell you, okay, this is what I was going through, this is my mindset, this is what I was, and telling you my journey, you can pinpoint and tell and say, like, okay, this is maybe where you went wrong, try and switch this and do this instead. And kind of helping me create some kind of customized sequence to get out is something that I don't think you can get out of reading books or reading or watching videos. Like, you can only get that personalization of a specific astral projection sequence only through coaching
Yeah.
and someone who actually understands what you're going through. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think so too. And it's just a proof that a lot of people that come to me have been trying to learn these techniques on their own through YouTube videos, through books, and they've been trying for years and still haven't, succeeded. And that
Yeah,
just goes to show that it's so much more to it than just getting that information from those kind of sources.
for sure. And I feel like the other thing that also I felt really helped, especially from you, was in the very beginning, you also taught me what were some of the limiting beliefs that some other self-taught astral projection, people who are trying to learn it on their own. You taught me what some of the blocks they were having were, what some of the limiting beliefs, like, or like myths of astral projection, things that people think, that people expect, but here's the actual reality. And you were able to tell me things that if there was a certain time when I was astral projecting, I would know what to do in a specific situation, whereas a person who's totally new at this, trying to learn it all by themselves, wouldn't have known how to manage those things. And I felt like you were able to give me all of the information, and I felt like you kind of lifted a weight off my chest, because obviously when you start this practice, you have limiting beliefs and stuff, right? You're not
Yeah.
you have uncertainties and maybe like some fears that you have, and you were able to like address all of those things and tell me what the reality of it was, and that was just so huge. Yeah.
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 And so who would you recommend this program to?
Like, everybody. Honestly, yeah, just anybody who wants to really know and is willing to challenge themselves and challenge their consciousness to, raise their vibration, and really want to have a really strong desire to understand the hundreds of millions of different layers of our universe, and just really want to understand themselves beyond our third dimensional crude matter form. Like, yeah, it's definitely, I would recommend it to everybody. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thanks a lot for this.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm looking forward to hear about your future out of body experiences.
For sure. Yeah.
And so, yeah, we'll be speaking in the future sessions. Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Cassidy.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.